Good evening, everybody. Here we are, ready to get started with a 1943 S plastic tube drill. We are going to wait here for just a few minutes for other people to show up. Please let me know when you show up and when you're in here. That way I will know who is present and who is not. Wishing everybody a wonderful December evening. Hopefully, it's nice and warm where you are, even if it's just inside someplace. Hey, Crispy. I know it's not cold where it's not warm where you are. You're probably having snow weather right now. Right? It looks like I've got Jackalope and Mickey in here, but they've been in here for a little while. Oh, a nice day today. Well, good. Good. I hope you have a few of those. There's Mickey. This is going to be my only reveal for this evening. In fact, it's my only broadcast for this evening. I'm doing it for special purposes in part because it is reveal number 700. Reveal number 700 is a big number, and it could not have been achieved if not for the patience and loyalty of my customer base, my family out there. And so I ran a roll for basically less than what it cost me just to get it out there and get people involved at a less than normal price. 1943, this roll right here, I got this roll, it's 1943 San Francisco, which just makes it even more special. It's way over $200 a roll now. This has got tape on it. I can't get it open at the moment, but I've got this for that. Special knife. Get my special knife out and get the tape cut so I can just open this roll when the time comes. There we go. And make sure I have 50 coins in here. Wouldn't want to go with less than 50. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Yay, I've got 50 coins. I'm seeing a little bit of white spotting on some of this, but for the most part, they look pretty good. Hey, Dan, how you doing, buddy? In here for reveal number 700, there's Taco John. Good evening, sir. And on that note, I believe I might be ready to get started here. I'll take a break about halfway through and tell you guys a couple of special things we got. So here we go. Heating up a bowl of gumbo. There you go. Coin Dragon, what's up, Frank? It's been a while. Coin number 1 of this one's going to go to IT. Let's see where IT is. We're going to go ahead and start off. I'm going to be taking a little bit of extra time with this roll, just so that we have time to discuss everything that needs to be talked about. Get my lighting and everything set up right for this particular reveal. And there we are. There's coin number 1. Here goes that bell again. Dong! At the border. Alright. Starting off here with coin number 1. We're going to check for all the goodies. There's an interesting die crack on that one. Now, die cracks are not highly uncommon for the steel planchets, simply because there were steel dies making steel coins. Those dies did not last nearly as long as they had hoped. Don't see anything doubled on the obverse on this one. I'll flip it over and take a look at the reverse. Hey, Eric, how you doing, buddy? This is the reverse of this first coin. It's got a few of those white spots on there. Those are because of oxidation of the zinc that is plating the steel. Got nothing to show you guys on that, unfortunately. And that was coin number 1. Now we're going to move on and go through the remainder of the roll. However, I am going to make a special announcement first. I don't really understand why. However, I have not heard anything in the media or otherwise. Of course, I'm not really on Facebook anymore, so I wouldn't have seen it there. However, today marks the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor Day. I do not know why. I've not heard anything on this special anniversary. 80 years ago today, Pearl Harbor was bombed by the Japanese from the air. The United States responded only after losing a number of ships and crewmen. And why we go to a special anniversary of that terrible tragedy, I don't know. But after Pearl Harbor was bombed, we went through an unprecedented number of people coming into the military to protect freedom and to protect democracy. And that is what brought our country back together and made the greatest generation of all, most of whom are now deceased. 80 years ago today, many of them entered the military hoping to make this world a better place to live. And on that, not 80 years, but 38 years ago, this young cat right here went into the United States Air Force 38 years ago today, on December 7th, 1986. That's me. For those who haven't really seen me much, that's a picture of yours truly right there. Senior pictures straight out of my 1986 yearbook. Went into the United States Air Force. Stayed in for a full 10 years active duty before exiting after Desert Storm. I did my part, did what I went in for, and left. But that's my anniversary little fling tonight, is to do this reveal this evening on this day of celebration and this day of remembrance for those in Pearl Harbor. That is a very 80s haircut, isn't it? And so, that's one thing I wanted to say. Another thing, we're going to have a notice this evening of a change in how things are going to occur on the Copper Coins channel on YouTube going into the future. I am only going to be doing auctions once every second week. I've decided that doing an auction every week exhausts me and you, gives you opportunity to be able to save a little bit more, to put together funds for some larger and a little bit more valuable lots of coins that I'll be running into the future. And it gives me that time to be able to set up a new auction instead of chasing my tail every week trying to get a new auction to go. So that is one announcement that I'll be making. I'll be focusing a little bit more time on the reveals because I like the education of the reveals, but I'm also going to work on coming up with something more, more fun, I would say. A little bit more fun, a little more educational, a little more content heavy. I'm trying to make the YouTube channel a little more content heavy, a little less live auction. And to do that, I, of course, have to have a little bit more time in my week to be able to put something like that together. Now, we do have this coming week, we are not going to be doing an auction, but I will be coming on to show you guys a bunch of die varieties, show you what they look like, and see if perhaps you guys might want to purchase into some of them. I have a lot of coins that I'm preparing to get ready for sale, and we'll see what we can do with that this Tuesday. I've got the Die Variety Show scheduled to come up at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. I will be talking with Eric about how we can both be involved in that and how we can both come on for a while and have a hangout and talk with you guys about coins, show you a bunch of die varieties and see which ones work best. Keeping the flies away, you're right about that. Well, you look at me in my senior yearbook, and all of us look like that. So, I must have been Rico Suave back at the time because all these other guys were copying me. I don't think so, but anyway, so I've done that first coin in here. We've gotten a little bit established, and I'm going to keep going. So to that end, I have to take my vampire repellent down and get us ready to go. Coin number 2 is going to go to Carl. And to Carl's coin we go. Take a look at it and see what we've got. There's a little bit of a recarving. That's actually a hub recarving to strengthen lines right there. And there's more of it going to be around that right there. You can see a bunch of carved lines. Those are actually carved on the hub before the die was made. Let's see what we have with the date and the mint mark area here. Doesn't look like we have anything special going on with the date or the mint mark on this particular coin. Yes, 80 years is a long time. I had a grandfather that missed Pearl Harbor, but he did not miss. He was in the Marine Corps already, but he just wasn't at Pearl Harbor when that happened. However, he did end up going to American Samoa, Guadalcanal, and the Samoan Islands to do his part in the war. And that was my father's dad. Then my mother's dad ended up entering the military in 1941, and he went to Italy, Malta, and fought the North African War. So I have two grandpas that went to two completely different parts of the world. All right, that's coin number 2 for Carl. I was very disappointed that I didn't hear anything about Pearl Harbor all day long. I was kind of poking my head in and out here and there, looking to see if I would hear anything about it or see anything about it. And very, very disappointing what this world has come to, that we don't discuss our historic tragedies the way we should. Try to prevent things like that from coming to pass into the future. Eric, are you seeing what I'm seeing on this? That 3 doesn't look quite right, does it? It looks like we might actually have a very slight double die going on there. Looks like there's a separation line on the inside of the middle part of the 3. I don't know, folks. I don't know what to tell you about that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Take a little closer look at it. That looks like could be just right in here. Looks like possibly a separation line. So looks like there's maybe more separation going on right up here. We'll keep this out. We'll see what we can make of it with the other coins in the roll. Let's see if perhaps it could be something to list. You would think that if you had doubling like that on that part of the design that you would also see it up here in the model, but I don't see anything. Let's take a look at the eye. Nothing in the eye. Nothing on the ear. And nothing in Liberty. Well, I'll flip it on over to the reverse side. We'll take a look at it. I'll hold it off to the side for now as a possible. And then if we see something else that's just like it, got the same markers, and the same issue, then we'll know. We've got something needs to be listed, needs to be considered. Anyway. Got nothing on that reverse. Let's go back to the obverse and pick up a good marker for us. Something that we can use. It's a little out of the ordinary. I'm going to go with that die scratch running right through the bottom half of the 3. Right on the outside fringe of the bottom half of the 3 there. We can use that as our marker to pick up from on any other examples. This one's going to go to Crispy in the meanwhile. And so let's move on to coin number 4. Coin number 4 for Eric Maith. It's got some of that white spotting on the obverse, but see, you don't have that same character of the 3, but we do have, I believe, yep, we've got a little RPM going on here. You can see the doubling on the there it is, on the front half of the S. Split serif right here, the extra serif running up this way, and then you've got a little bit of doubling on the back side of the S. So that is going to make up for, let's see, there we go. You see a little bit of there. These are variable lighting coins, and you can almost not keep up with the lighting necessary for them, because some of them show up a little bit darker and some of them show up a little bit lighter depending on how much luster they have. You got that re-engraving again on this one. In fact, this is the same, I think, as coin number 1. Pretty sure. Let's look for that die scratch off the 9 on coin number 1. Go ahead and load this one up. Coin number 4 for Eric Maith. I'm going to stick it up in the top because I do believe it is a repunch mint mark. Let's take a look at number 1 and see if my memory serves. Oh, my vision has to serve first. There we go. Nope, it's not coin number 1. Must have been number 2, because I think I remember seeing that before. Nope, not number 2. Must be my imagination. I must have been imagining things. Well, let's move on to coin number 5. Yeah, you're right about that, Taco John. It's, I guess, one of those things that we just have to get used to. History is going to forget. And, well, at least I can say the people involved, for the most part, were celebrated through to the end of their lives. And because we have so few survivors remaining, I guess there's just more important things to talk about in the news. Nothing there. Let's take a look at the reverse on this one. We've got quite a bit of that. It's almost like corrosion, but basically what it is the zinc has turned a bit because of the oxidation. Some nice die cracks on this one. A few little die cracks going on there. Nothing doubled on the reverse though. And that one goes to Mark. These are all uncirculated coins, however. It's that these things have to be stored 100% in a very special way to keep them in good shape, or they get these spots on them. It's kind of like the early zinc coins. There's a spiked head right there too. There's a little die crack. This one might match that coin 2 die. Nope, it doesn't, because there are more die cracks on here than I can count. Gosh, look at all that. Whole network of die cracks on this one. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse side. See if we have anything there. Oh, not seeing it. Hello, Kevin Hawthorne. Let's go on to coin number 7. Stan? Stan. Let's see what Stan gets. Well, that's actually like woody toning, and that's how it shows up on Steel Sense. The mint mark is nearly gone, but that's because of grease obstruction in the die. Not because of much anything else, but it is still a 1943S. And well, I don't see anything else going on with this coin, so we'll flip it over and look at the reverse and move on. One thing about 1943 Lincoln Cents is most of them were struck with relatively early dies. Die state is generally pretty early on all 1943 Lincoln Cents because the dies busted before they had a chance to age. And that primarily is a result of striking steel coins with steel dies. It just didn't work. Just did not work. And nothing on the obverse there. Good old Saturday football. I still don't understand the leagues in college. I don't understand how a team could go completely undefeated and never make it to a championship game. That just doesn't make sense. And I have a really hard time with teams that are ranked on not statistics and realism, but they're ranked on a set of so-called experts and how much they like them. That doesn't jive with me. I can watch a team that doesn't lose a game but doesn't have a chance to be the victors of a championship game simply because they didn't have the schedule for it. Don't get it. Just don't get it. I've never watched it for that reason. Never could understand it. And then you've got, like, there's North Carolina, and there's NC State, and then there's Duke, and then there's Wake Forest, and then there's ECU. And then there's blah, and the blah, and the blah, and the blah. You don't know which ones are which unless you're from this state. And they're all in different conferences or whatever. And many of them don't face each other in the games, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I can understand your single A, double A, triple A, you know, like that, but I'm just having a hard time getting it myself. That is a very unusual looking outline around the 1 and the 9 and the 4 and the 3 there. I have never seen that before. That is interesting. It's a sunken depression that is a curved sunken depression way outside of the number digits of the year. Haven't seen anything like that before. Not 100% sure what that is. Okay, now we're getting into something really, really interesting. That is an E. That's the ES of states. And part of the inside of the wheat there. And here is the O and the the O and the F of. That's a simply huge die clash right there. I don't think I've seen it that strong on any Lincoln cent before. But you have the OF, and then there's the A with the bottom of the wheat, and then up here above it you can see the ES, or the E anyway, and part of the S. What else can we see on here? That strange looking outline around the date. I don't show anything else as far as the normal spots where you would see. You've got an outline around Liberty as well. That is a weird thing. Yeah, where's dirty water when you need one? I don't see dirty water in here. He'd probably want to start talking somebody into that. Hey, will you sell me your coin? Hey, little kid, I'll give you some candy for that coin. That's really cool. That's a really neat one. You're right about that. Let's look at the reverse and see what we get out of the reverse on this. Looks like it could be just a little bit of a minor Class 6 double die, but it doesn't really show very well. Not something I would be interested in listing unless we had a number of them to compare and do photos of the best parts of each coin. That one's for Mickey, though. Mickey got this one. Real nice coin there, Mickey. Coin number 10 now. Sureg. And Sureg. See, there's that 3, but it's not the same die. So now that's telling me it's something more about the design than the doubling. Doesn't look like there's really any doubling there. Man, this coin is kind of grody. But it's not the same die as that other one that we saw it very sharply on. So I'm probably going to have to go with a master die thing. And that it just hasn't really been noticed before. Could be working hub doubling. But I kind of doubt that too. All right, Taco John. Let's see what we got for Taco John. Well, it doesn't have the outline around the date, so it is not one of the same clashes that we just saw. And that clash was pretty neat. Pretty darn neat. You really just don't see them like that on the wheats. I don't think I've ever seen one that strong. And trust me, I've seen plenty of clashes on wheats. Most of them are really strong toward the middle, but they don't really show much at all toward the outside edge. Much, if any. Next up, Frosty. Let's see what Frosty gets. It looks like a relatively clean-looking coin on the obverse. Here is the outline. We've got that outline, that strange little outline, and there it is. There's another clash right there. This one for Frosty. Man, look how deep that is. That's some pretty awesome stuff right there. There's your clash on the other side there. See, that's the F in of. Got some pretty cool looking stuff right there. Got some polish lines there. But you got the Liberty is outlined as well. Looks like one of those wide painted borders around letters in a window so they stand out, you know? It's kind of what it looks like. The whole thing is outlined. It's a very strange looking thing going on there. But I like it. Well, at least now we know we've got this die ad repetitum. So we're going to see it a couple of more times at least. This is the first time I've ever seen a clash mark as strong as that one that runs through the T right there. That close to the edge of the upper part of the design. Never seen it before. Alright, so that is for Frosty. So we got a Mickey, got a Frosty. Let's see what we have next. Dirty Water has been alerted. Dirty Water will be here any time now. What is over here? Oh, okay. It's a little bit of that corrosive stuff that comes along with 1943 storage. Okay, I am convinced that this is actually not a double die, but it is just part of the 3 that they put in the dies. So nothing on that side. Let's take a look at the reverse on this one. Nice clean looking coin until you notice the big white spots on them. Alright, that one was for Mickey. On to coin number 15. Number 15 for Eric. Eric Maith here. Let's see what we're going to get for him. We don't have the outline. So we don't have the clash. This is the one with the spiked head. What's up, Paul? Got some nice stuff there, however, it is not a die variety. All right, let's move on. You like the spiked head? Well, you have one. There it is. Here's coin number 16 now. 16 goes to Sissy. This one's got some of that stuff on it. I wish I knew something that would take that, just that surface corrosion is all it is. I wish I knew something that would take that off and leave the coin alone for the most part. And maybe there'd be some sort of a substance that would just chew into that corrosion and leave everything else alone. That's actually part of a clash right there on the inside of the N. This would be the back of Lincoln's neck at the hairline, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's going to be the nose. Okay. Yeah, this one's for Sissy. Now number 17. 17, Taco John. Taco's already had a clash. Does he get another one? Yeah, not this time around. Seen this die before. We saw this one early in the run. That's for number 17. Here's number 18, Carl. So we're going to have a roll reveal show coming up Monday. We've got a few reveals that we're going to be taking care of before that time on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're going to be doing an RPM sale. It is cleverly disguised in your YouTube notices as a variety show, which it kind of will be, because I believe I will be able to coax Eric into coming on with me and speaking about some of these repunch mint marks. Just kind of he and I having a voice conversation about the mint marks as we're going through them. Grandpa Tim, how are you doing? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May I have another? A lot of die cracks around on this one, but not much else going on. Coin number 19 now, crispy. Waffle fry. Good day to waffle fry. Let's see. Not seeing special stuff on this one either. We have those times where we don't see much of nothing special. I'm glad we at least got something of interest in this roll, because we were running on quite a dry spell. On Monday, before the reveal show, I'll be doing a 2014 Philadelphia roll and a 2015 Philadelphia roll. Both of those are going to be pretty nice. They're both bank wrapped rolls, original rolls, so they'll be nice in condition. We'll just have to see what comes along with regard to die varieties. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. 2015, there's a major double die reverse to be watching for. 2014, we've got a few obverses and a couple of reverses. Uh-oh. I'm seeing something here that looks like if it continues... No, darn it. It might be a really, really minor double die, but I'm not going to give it that, because it only shows along the bottom edge down here, and it's not really enough to take big notice of. So what I was looking at as soon as I slapped this coin down on the table here was this A on the end of America appears to have some stretching at the corners, but man, it just doesn't follow through. Did we look at the obverse on this one? I don't remember if we did, but we're going to do it now, just in case. Okay, this is the one that should have been, by markers, this should have been another one of the double dies on the 3, but I'm just not going to go that direction. I just don't think that's actually a double die. I think that's part of how the design was initially placed into the master die. Coin number 21 going to Mark Thomas. Oh, big doubled eyelid. Big doubled eye right there. Nice, nice one. That's actually a tripled eyelid. It's got 2 extra eyelids. Fancy schmancy. Nice coin, Mark. Let's check the reverse side. Let's see if we got anything on the reverse side of this one. Oh, nothing in addition to. But that tripled eyelid sure makes it nice. All right, there's one for Mark. Finally got something good there, right? turning into a decent roll. I like it. Good deal for the 700th roll reveal. Yeah, not producing much with that coin so far. Let's see what's on the other side. See, as soon as I get in my chair and start working, my dog gets in my other chair and falls asleep and starts snoring. And then you have to understand that my job a lot of times is very ad tedium stuff. It's like I'm doing the same edits on 60 different pictures, or I'm photographing the exact same spots on a whole bunch of coins, or something that's tedious, just something that's mind-numbing work that I happen to enjoy doing. It's cathartic for me. But, oh, this is one of our Clash coins. Look at that. On Clash marks. It's one of the Clash coins right there. But man, for some people, this one's for Frosty. So Frosty gets 2 of them so far. Dirty Water, that's who you have to go to get one. Did you actually hear that existed, Dirty Water? Guess not. He hasn't really mentioned it yet. Kind of wondering if he was actually going to mention that. Let's get a clean example up here. Here's one from Mickey. Let's see what we see on that. We'll stop at the next clean example of that die so the Dirty Water can get a good close look. Lots of cracks and stuff going on here. Very active. Very active. Violently used dies. Let's see when we run across another. There's another tripled eyelid there. That one's going to Sissy. Yeah, it's me, man. You just can't beat stuff like that. Well, unless you get FS listed coins. And tripled eyelid there. That one goes to Sissy. Let's see what's next. Indigenous treasures. Let's see what Bethlehem gets. Oh, another tripled eyelid. That one's for Bethlehem. We got something going on up here. Some sort of a hit on the die at the bottom of the R. I noticed that with the last coin. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's a hit on the die somehow. Frosty got the Clash. He did. Frosty got 2. Mickey got 1. And I think Sissy got one of them. I'm not sure. I can't remember at this point. That's all just some special stuff there, I'll tell you. I like it. This one doesn't have much of anything going on. So, we'll take a quick look at the reverse on this one. There are some nice Class 6 double die reverses on 1943S. Can't discount that you could get really nice die varieties on the backside. What's up, Mark? Number 28, Chubby Pop Chaser. Let's see what Jerry gets here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Okay, this Dirty Water is where you need to start watching very carefully. You see right here, you can see a little bit of an outline, big bubulous outline around the date. It goes all the way around, down here, then over here, and then up here, and down this way. In fact, it goes around the mint mark as well. I didn't notice that before. Okay, and then if I move over here to Liberty, you also have the same thing going around Liberty. Never seen anything like this before. Do not have any idea how this or why this formed. But when you turn the coin upside down like this and you slide up to about right here, you start seeing there's an E. All right, and that's doubled. That's not single. That's a doubled clash mark. And here's the outside of the A and the wheat. You can see the wheat right there. It's a very strong clash mark. Then you move over here and you get the clash of the F in of. This one's almost obliterated because it's got that stuff on it. But then you can see more clash marks up here. Okay. And then up in here, a bunch of clash marks all over the place. If you were to match this up with the reverse design backwards like you would need to, you probably see a whole bunch of spots where you're going to end up with clash marks that I'm not noticing. See, there's one that's deeper right there. Very small, but it's deeper. And then now I've kind of figured out that this entire area here has been like smear polished, probably because of the strength of the C that would be in here. Hard to tell exactly. Nothing going on the bust. Nothing going on anywhere else. It's just those outlines around the date and around Liberty are very interesting. And then you get up here and you got these super clash marks. Super clash. You can actually see the E. Okay, this is the E of states. And then here you can actually see the S of states as well. There probably will be some progression. Frosty said send his first one to you. Uh-huh. You know, if I get a message from Frosty saying that, I'll put your name on it. Or if Frosty wants to come in and actually tell me that during this broadcast, I'll be sure that it goes to you. All right, next up, this one's for Dan McCumber. This is not one of the clashes. This is a spiked head. Spiked head crack die, or spiked head die crack. I got a guy who calls himself that on YouTube, spiked head die crack. I haven't seen him in a little while, but he is around. There he is. Hi. Well, your ears must have been burning. But the big one is all yours. Okay, I will look for the second coin for Frosty in the pile that is a clash, and remark that one with Dirty Water's name. There's a little bit of a clash right there, just to the left of the one, right up against the vest. That's more of the normal placement for clashes. But that big die clash, I see there's a different spiked head right there. Completely different. Ooh, and that spiked head in more than one direction. This is a pre-shattered die break. There's another die crack from the B. Got die cracks everywhere on this coin. Look at that. They're everywhere, everywhere. Let's look at the reverse of this one. I'm not sure we've seen the reverse of this die yet. Nothing there. Good evening, Bill. This is roll reveal number 700. They're numbered in cardinal order from 1 up, so other than the fact that there have been some special ones that were numbered differently, we are running somewhere near 700 in the number of... What's an interesting little planchet issue going on there? In the number of reveals we have run since 2018 when all this started. But also, just for giggles, I want to show you guys that picture again. But to head that off, I want to discuss once again that today is the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. I don't know why we aren't seeing a lot more about it. I guess it's because most of the survivors of that tragic day are now passed. Otis up next. Otis. And because it is Pearl Harbor Day, it is also the anniversary of my entrance into the United States Air Force in 1986. Yeah, we've got 38 years have passed since the day I got on the plane to go to basic training. That's a pretty nice looking obverse. Let's see what's on the reverse. Not quite as nice looking, but still a decent reverse. Here, you want to see a picture of the sly little guy who went into the Air Force in 1986 on the 7th of December. That photograph was taken probably about 4 or 5 months before I went in. Yeah, maybe more like 7 or 8 months. That's my my graduation photo, which would have been taken January or February, so just about a year before I went into the military. Oh, today is the 83rd. Did I say 80th? I did see 80th. I don't know why my head was not... It was 41, not 44. 44 was D-Day, and we've already been through that, and they made a big deal of it. So this is the 83rd anniversary of Pearl Harbor. All right, I'll take that back down now. Give everybody a chance to take a good look at what Chucky looked like back when he was just a little snorting kid wet behind the ears. Long hair and wet behind the ears. Oh, who's next? Who's next? Sissy. Sissy is next. What does Sissy get? For the most part, looks like a normal coin here. All right, so now, Bill, I was in for 10 years. I was in until the end of October 1996. It's actually, my son was born a couple of weeks before my terminus date. So, there we go. Look at that, another one of our tripled eyelids. This one's from Mr. McCumber. For Dan. Lieutenant Dan. There we go. Yep, 10 years, United States Air Force, active duty. Spent time in Europe, the United States, and in Southwestern Asia during the Southwestern Asia campaigns, both Desert Storm and Provide Comfort, which Provide Comfort was the Turkish fight in that war. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Otis. Right, so we can't call you Lieutenant Dan. Can we call you Sergeant Dan? Call you Sergeant Dan Nine Toes? We'll have to look at the reverse on this one. Not 100% sure we've seen the reverse side of this particular die pair yet. Oh yes, Alex. Yeah, we do have a sale coming up for additional rolls. I believe we're going to be doing 10 rolls this coming week. I'll have 5 for Eric and 5 for myself. Private 9 toes. Yeah, I bet. Bet Dan's been on a shrimp boat, next to a shrimp boat. Could probably open a shrimp restaurant with all the shrimps he's seen. Had bull shrimp, broil shrimp, shrimp scampi, peel medium shrimp. Shrimp cocktail. Shrimp gumbo. There we go. Has shrimp in his gumbo tonight. That's a true Louisiana right there. That's right, coconut shrimp. What else we got? Popcorn shrimp. We got fried shrimp. We got jumbo shrimp. A lot of people call those prawn. That's all I got to say about that. I miss having good shrimp. Around here we haven't had good shrimp in a while. It's a seasonal thing, I suppose. I like the idea of having shrimp come fresh out of the water right into the fryer. Good old fried shrimp. Don't have to batter it, just fry it. It only takes a few seconds. Don't take long. A shrimp boat and a shrimp boat captain. I like it. I'm going to buy a shrimp boat, and Bubba's going to be my shrimp boat captain. Yeah. Shrimp po' boy. Got shrimp with a mango marmalade. Yeah, that's right. Coconut batter shrimp with a mango marmalade. Thanks for everyone. I really enjoyed that reveal. Alex, you want to become involved? Show up on Monday. But get me a registration first. Registration's very simple. It's easy, and it is free. That email address that you see over there on the left side of the screen below oh, look at that. There's another one of our tripled eyelids. Tripled eyelid. You got little depressions in the die that make standy-uppy little things on the coin of extra eyelids that were hubbed into the die because the die shifted a little bit during the process and didn't get polished out because it's in the eye socket area. They're not highly uncommon, but they're not common either. As a type, eyelid double dies are actually somewhat common. So there's another one. But where it comes down to individually identifying each one by a die that struck it, that becomes a little harder if you're trying to collect a set of all the different ones. Okay, thanks, Alex. A lot of them are interesting to have one or a couple or a few, but where it really comes to collecting them as a entirety, a lot of people kind of give up on that because they are not quite that impressive to want to, collect every one of them that we know about. Got some really nice and shiny coins here. That was for Paul. Now one for Stan. Not as many of the big Clash coins as I'd like to see. Some nice clean surfaces on these though. For the better part anyway. Number 39, was it Obvious MD on Liberty? This is going to be coin number 39 coming back out. My guess is that by the angle I had it at the time, you were looking at reflections of the bevel. There's no machine doubling on that. Hey there, Steve. Oh, Steve will get a kick out of this. I'll show it one more time. Steve, this is the funky little cat that went into the U.S. Air Force 38 years ago today. Check that out. That's funny right there. Coin number 45 for Dan McCumber now. And here that is. Well, it's not one of the special ones we're looking for. JJ. Oh, you're behind, but congrats to Mickey on the Killer Clash. You need to keep watching, brother. We found a few more of them in here. Paul Hampton up next. Let's see what Paul ends up with. Another one of our tripled eyelids. That's what that is. Tripled eyelid coming out for Paul. Congrats, sir. There's that for you. We got 4 more coins in this hunt. We got a stack of the eyelids. Carl now. See what Carl gets. I think I remember this particular die. Is that one of the... It's not one of the spiked heads, although there is a minuscule die crack. We're talking about a very small surface crack right here. Right there. Barely visible at any angle. In fact, it pretty much completely disappears if you don't have it lit up perfectly. That's interesting. Just a little hairline fracture. Larger fracture down there. All right. Blaine. St. Blaine up now gets a 1943S. Let's see what's on it. Well, this one's not one of the special ones. Whoa. Looks like part of the planchet was ripped off. That's kind of cool right there. That is a a peel of some sort. A lamination peel, I guess. I wasn't aware that you could have lamination peels on these. Huh. That's very different. I don't think I remember seeing one like this before. Let's see if it's affected any other part of the stretch. I don't see any other issues. Just that one spot right there. That looks like a bad wax peel. You know, took off part of the skin. We have on the reverse side of this one. Okay, that is that die pair. I've seen these die cracks a few different times. Could be grease buildup, I suppose. Taco John now. Let's see what we have for Taco John. Before we come to an end on this roll with the next coin, our next broadcast, my next broadcast, I think, I believe Eric has a reveal tomorrow afternoon, but my next broadcast will be on Monday. We have 3 reveals coming up on Monday, number 705, number 706, which is a 14 filly and a 15 filly, 2014, 2015. And then Eric is going to be doing a reveal on Monday prior to our roll reveal sale. So we'll be busy most of Monday afternoon. And then Tuesday, we're going to get out a bunch of RPMs and show them off. Oh, looky there. Final coin in the roll for Stan. We've got the outline around the date. Do we have it? Bam, we do. The Clash appears. Okay, so right there we have the E of states doubled. And then there, on some of these you can actually see the S. It would be a backwards S right there. You got the bottom of the A of the last day of America. And then you've got the bottom of the right side wheat. Actually, you have some impressions of some of the outlines around the grains here. That's what that would be, those little marks. And then over here, you get the F in of. And just a little remnant of the O. There's your remnant of the O right there. And then your F. Part of the other wheat right here. Just a small touch of it. How about that? Man, sweetness. Sweetness, sweetness. Very nice. And that one goes to Stan Horn. All right, so Dirty Water, I'll go back in. If Frosty got 2, I will send you the second of the 2 clashes. That's all I've got for tonight. And the 18-year-old Chuck and the 56-year-old Chuck both say, thank you. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for being a customer. Thank you for bringing us to 700 roll reveals. Could have never imagined it would go this far. And let's say a special prayer when we go to bed for the ladies and gentlemen who survived Pearl Harbor and the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.